Leo's Legion, they're back! Or are they? Has the dominance returned? Or do the Lions just have the Stamps number? Week 10 in the books, we've stumped the Stamps, or did we? Let's throw it with the bros now! Leo's Legion, the three down bros, Greg, Arthur, and Roland, my brethren, they are back? Are they back? What is it? Do we have the Stamps number? Or has the dominance returned? Ask that in the intro, throwing it out to you guys. Is the D back? Was it a one-off? Do we just know what Dave Dickinson's gonna miscoach, miscall, misthink, overthink, undercoach? Do we have Mayor's number? What is it, guys?
I'll go first. Well, Calgary looked impressive the previous week when they beat Toronto, and to me it seemed like they were doing a lot of the same things, trying to run the ball, not going for deep passes, short passes, run the ball, short passes, run the ball. In fact, in this game, I think that the longest pass was like 15 yards by Jake Mayer, right? So. You know, I think we read them. Whether or not we're back, I'm not ready to declare that yet. I think I'd like to see us be more consistent. Calgary didn't really show up. I think, you know, they tried to do the same thing they did to Toronto, but it was just flat. That's kind of how I felt. How about you, Arthur?
I don't think they were left. You know, I'm so of the opinion. They were the victim of a poor schedule, a CFL schedule maker last game in Winnipeg, and yeah, I mean the score got away from them with their number 3 quarterback. By the way, I should mention that, right? But Vernon Adams is back. Definitely, yeah. Vernon Adams is back.
Yeah.
And that defense, you know, didn't give up a touchdown again. Allowed 3 field goals.
True.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah. 0 for 2 in the red zone for Calgary. That's pretty good. Shut down Carey and Mills. I mean, I'm looking at the stats. 69 yards rushing on 21 attempts.
Average of just under 3, just around
3.3. Now, you know, without. Who are they out? Who are they missing in the interior of their defensive line?
I think Josh Banks is back, but they're missing Sione off the edge.
Because remember, what do we say in the off season? We said the Lions need to improve their run defense.
Yeah.
And Calgary's got a good run game. Like Roland said, they showed it to us last week when they beat Toronto at home. And they had Carey and Mills now. Maybe Carey, this is his first game back for Carey, so maybe Carey's trying to find his footing. But Mills is still decent.
Mills is in a groove. Yeah. Agreed.
And they shut it down. Mind you, the Lions got touchdown, field goal, touchdown to start the game.
Yeah.
So Calgary's already behind the 8 ball, but they still ran their offense the way it is. And much to the bewilderment of myself, because you're down and you're just grinding. Like each possession they had, they're grinding time off the clock.
Yeah. But Brother Arthur's pet peeve.
Yeah, no, but it worked against Toronto. It worked against Toronto. Were they ahead?
Well, they were
Toronto
ahead.
The whole time?
They were ahead, and they were facing Toronto's backup quarterback with Ouellette.
Yeah.
So like, Roland and I were at the game, and I'm like, you know, I think this game is in hand because I just can't see Calgary. I don't feel like they're going to score a touchdown. And also the Lions kept on getting possessions and scoring. You're like, okay, well, it's kind of anticlimactic.
The other thing was the penalties. Calgary killed themselves with penalties. The first quarter, they had so many penalties.
I think that holding call right off the hop kind of hurt. I think that was like that holding call to Calgary. I think it was that second and long to, I think it was Schoen or Lawler, that first second down bomb, and the Lions never recovered from that. And I don't think Calgary ever recovered from that holding call, because then I think on the next play after that was a sack, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, the opening kickoff, they were offside. I was like going, Roland, how can you be offside on the opening kickoff? And then,
especially on teams that are coached by Killam. They spoke about that on the radio as I was in the car listening to that game, that Calgary special teams are always up there, always in the upper echelon. Dare they say elite, because they're well coached and well disciplined. And then offside on the opening kickoff.
I mean, a kickoff, the ball is in one spot.
And every single player is looking at the ball.
Everyone's looking at
the ball.
like I don't know how hard it is, but hey, whatever, mistakes happen. But I think within the first few minutes, they were flagged for, like, a lot of the plays had penalties. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's focus penalties, I would think. Focus penalties.
Yeah.
But to go back to your point, Arthur, not letting a touchdown scored again, this is Calgary's. I mean, hey, I've never been a Dave Dickinson fan, even when he was a Lion, wearing Nathan Rourke's number 12, might I add. When Dave Dickinson was here, it was, to me, a pop gun offense. I was always a Casey Prentice fan versus Dave. It was a lot more exciting, a lot more entertaining. Yes, I'm sure Dave Dickinson brought Wally Ball here, because that was when Wally first started here as well. He brought his little security blanket and Davey D, Dickie Dave, whatever you want to call him. But that pop gun offense, I've never been a fan of, and I don't think you are either, Arthur. Especially when you're behind. Why are you going with the hitch screens and the dumps and all the checkdowns, whatever? But I don't know if we can say our defense was dominant, like Roland said. I agree there, because it's only Calgary's offense. Just like, we shut out Edmonton, we shut out, whatever. We're holding these. That's not Winnipeg's high octane big play offense, or as Rick Campbell calls it, chunk play offense. And Toronto plays chunk play offense with the pass and the run. So, the Toronto game, I know that was a lot of offensive turnover touchdowns. I get it, but I'm not really sold that that defense is dominant. They played a great game, give them that. But are they back? They are back. I like our followers, our subscribers, and all those out there in Leo's Legion, Leo Land, to subscribe, follow, like, whatever, and please agree, disagree, or a third opinion is very welcome here on this podcast.
Yes. Yeah, we'd love to hear what you think.
How much more can the Lions defense do against Calgary?
Nothing. They've proven. I mean, first game, I think the season opener was Calgary. I mean, 2 games against Calgary, and we've shown. That's what I'm saying. Do they just have Calgary's number?
They allowed 1 touchdown to Calgary in 2 games, and that touchdown was score effects near the end of the game. It was bend don't break. It's like, okay, we'll give you the small yardage as long as you march off time. But I think it's they definitely have Mears' number, and they probably do have.
Head, don't you think? Besides this, I think they're in here in Mir. Like he's got that deer in the headlights look when he plays us. That look that I always used to be worried about VA having, which he hasn't had since that Toronto game after he took that whack. But I don't know. Merritt does not look confident against us. He looks shaken.
Yeah. Well, the whole team seemed flat. They were just flat. And maybe after the high of winning against Toronto, then all the adrenaline's gone, and they just seemed really flat in the whole game.
Well, one thing, pop gun offense, and not my favorite quarterback, and Dickie Dave, Davey D, whatever you want to call him, he does know how to win. I mean, he's been brought up in that Huff-Nagel system, and prior to that, the Wally system. He knows how to win. So, I don't know. Is it a little bit on him that they weren't ready?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you're coming off a high. Bottle that energy and bring it. Yeah. Right? I mean, I'm sure the Lions had to bottle some of that vile vinegar bitterness that they got in Winnipeg, and they brought it to this game. They had to.
Yeah.
Although that hit by Alway on our running back, that was...
Yeah, Mitchell, yeah.
That was a hit, man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Alway had a really good game.
Yeah. That's good. I thought that was going to be like, this is going to be a game, but I love the fact that our running back just popped right back up.
Yeah.
and came right back at him. But man, I felt that hit, and I was in the car.
That was loud. Yeah, he came ready, but yeah, no, the rest of the team, hard to say.
But wouldn't you, as a team? I mean, I know I would. You feed off. I mean, you know, a hit like that, whether it's on teams or on D, you should be feeding off that.
Yeah.
You should, but then you got to score points. Bottom line, if you don't score points, you're not going to win. You're not going to get momentum. I don't care how good your defense is. You got to score points.
Yeah.
If you can't score points, you can't get in the end zone. You know, you can hit all you want, but I mean, the Stampeders D needed to prevent. I mean, yeah, more than hitting Mitzel hard.
Oh, stops. Yes, which
they needed.
Didn't get.
I mean, that first drive was too easy.
That first drive was, Lions, Leo's Legion, Lions fans, our hopeful followers and potential followers. When I watched the Lions go down the field like that, that reminded me of those Calgary drives of old, when they had Flutie, when they had a dominant Dickie Dave. That reminded me of that, and it was just so justification. That was just satisfying, justify, whatever you want to call it, to watch that happen to Calgary. I loved it. Anybody else out there agree, disagree, or third-party opinion? Bring it here, please.
No, yeah. All right, let's
Lions
jump.
had a wide open receivers into the end zone. I mean, like, it was easy. It was easy offensively. Maybe they just called the right plays, but like, yeah.
Combination of both?
Combination of both.
Maybe they saw what Calgary was doing against Toronto and they schemed against that. Then let's
Is it amazing what a full week of preparation can do for you? Unlike going into Winnipeg on the road, Mr. Empathetic Brother Arthur, the short week schedule. I'm still angry about that game, and you are ever empathetic. Bless you, Arthur. God bless you for being that empathetic, heartfelt guy. But, you know, I mean, I hear every one of those, and I do understand. But yeah, short week or not, you still got to win. That's my opinion. We're moving on. All right.
Let's move on.
Let's jump. Let's look at the high-level stats. So, you know, Arthur mentioned some of these. Passing, we had 35 attempts for 320 yards, an average of 9.4 yards. Against Calgary's 33 attempts for 136 yards. So almost the same number of attempts, but the...
That's like a third production?
Yeah, almost, yeah. And average of 4.1 yards. Rushing, we have 14 attempts for 50, so we didn't actually run the ball that much too. They had 21 attempts, so 150% more than ours for 69 yards. So average of 3.3 yards for them, 3.6 for us. So maybe that's one area that we could have improved on. Our running didn't seem to be as good. Net offense, we have 343 yards, 53 plays. They have 55 plays for 203 yards. So again, more than 150% in total of net offense.
Wow.
Sacks, they got 3 sacks. We only got 1. Penalties, they've got 12 penalties for 140 yards.
That's the length of the field. Yeah. Holy cow.
So we got 7 for 82. So, you know, we could do better with penalties as well, too. Red zone, Arthur mentioned, we were 3 for 3. They were 0 for 2. So that tells it, you know, that's a big stat there. Yeah. So those were the stats. Let's any more thoughts before we jump into some specific plays?
Well, I think that time hurt or dinged or nicked or whatever for VA, I think was a benefit for him, a blessing in disguise, because he was able to just cerebrally refresh, recoup, recover, and then just take a look at it from the intellectual side of the game and really have that time to prepare. I mean, he was ready to suit up against Winnipeg as the number 3.5, 4 quarterback, or whatever you want to call it. So in his heart, I have fully crossed over the fence of the no way VA can't play VA. I cannot, there is no question as to his dedication and his heart for his guys. There is no No question in my mind. This 3 down bro knows that Adams has every one of those guys back. But for him to come out there with that effort and be that dialed in, that was the VA that I think people have been waiting for since, 2019? That interception, whatever. I'm even willing to overlook that one, if you can believe that. But yeah, I was really, really impressed with the way he showed up.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's take a look at some plays. So I have a few plays that kind of just walks through the first quarter. First quarter was our best quarter, so let's take a look at that. So first one here is our first offensive play of the game. So this was pass to Cottoy, and that was for 21 yards, our first play. I have a replay here as well, on different angles. Let's take a look at that. So Cottoy's down here on the hash marks.
And Adams took a shot.
Yeah. So first off, again, I always I told this to Arthur when we saw this play. I always love it when we go to Cottoy. I still think he's underutilized. What do you guys think?
Not so far this year. I mean, in the past season, he was underutilized, but not so far this year, actually.
Yeah, when Vernon got here, I remember mentioning when we first started this podcast series that, he was the forgotten man. Yeah. He seemed to be dialed in on Hatcher, then Whitehead. But Cottoy, I mean, that's blood and guts running. That's old school. I mean, that... Can I go back and say Jason Claremont kind of running? I love it. Make the catch, make them pay.
Yeah, that was one of 3 targets for him for the whole game, and he caught 2. So, so that's how we started. And then the very next play of the game, I believe, is the one you're talking about, Greg. This is the...
the slobber knocker, the redonkulous, the decleater.
Yeah, so he got met right there, just a 1-yard gain.
I'm amazed he even got the yard. He didn't get knocked back. Kudos to Smoke for taking that hit, man. Oh,
so
cow.
TSN has an ISO on the tackle there.
That was clean.
Yeah, but that showed his heart in second offensive play, but it didn't translate to the whole team though, unfortunately.
Question.
Yeah.
And I'm just asking, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. You know the play, you know the snap count. Why is our O lineman on his knees?
And that he got blown up.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look. Let's see what happened there. Okay, so who are you looking at? So they're all shifting.
I get it. Always spying. He's scraping. He's waiting for his opportunity.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Couture went for Judge and should have went for Ollie.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, if he's designed to do that kick out and then no one, Ollie just may not have been accounted for, but still, okay, is our O lineman on top of somebody on his knees down there? Is that why he was?
It looks like it. Yeah.
No, in front of Couture, just to Couture's right.
Oh, this guy.
I think that's Suk.
Yeah, he's on top of someone. Yeah.
So you're trying to go A gap on the left side of Couture. I mean, you're like you're past the right hash. Like you might as well keep going left, right? So
like bounce it out, but then I think there's too much penetration on. Is that did Perkins start? He's not going to get around that corner on Perkins to get outside because he's already committed to that gap.
I think he should have. I think Couture should have just picked up Ollie. So I don't know the scheme. But
there you go. The guy that Suk was on top of has now affected the play.
Yeah, his right arm. I mean, it was an arm tackle, but it might have slowed him down a bit.
Yeah.
No, but he's still in his field of vision, makes him maybe go towards our way a little bit. But I'm just saying, if Suk Chung's going to be on top of a guy, stay on top of the guy.
Yeah, I think he just kind of rolled over him. Yeah. So I guess that's one area that we can improve our running play, as we mentioned in the stats. Right, our runs, we didn't have too many good runs.
Yeah, dare I say he whiffed on the pancake? Is that a saying? If it is, great. If not, you heard it first here on 3 Down Bros. He whiffed on the pancake.
All right. So next play is a pass attempt to Hatcher, which it was he didn't catch it, but he drew a pass interference.
Now you guys were at the game. Was this a key play in the drive? This was the drive hinged on this whole play right here?
I mean, it was the opening drive.
I don't think it was the radio. They said that was the key because again, does he make that? He's got to take that PI call because they said had Hatcher made that catch in stride, he's got that corner. He's waltzing in untouched.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Because I was only going radio broadcast. I couldn't see anything. So.
Yeah. So he was pushed there.
There's some contact there.
Yeah, Suit said the minute you turn that receiver and alter his route, that's you're going to get the PI. The little bit of ticky-tack contact before that, probably ref's going to let that go, but it was that grab and turn because he's going, that angle he's running, he's going to beat that stamp coming up, but the sunlight eliminates his number there on our screen. I can't see it. Yeah. But Hatcher catches that. He's running between the ref and that last stamp at the bottom of the middle of the right-hand side of the screen, and he's gone. Exactly. I can understand that.
Yeah, if he caught that, that's 6 points, yeah. So that was, so maybe that was the only thing he can do. So, then next play. So Hatcher said after the game that had he caught this ball, he would have gone over 200 for the whole game. Because I think he got up to, what did he get to? It was at 180.
I think it was 170.
Yeah. So had he caught...
That's lucky numbers. Sorry.
So
we can get to that later.
Yeah. So next play of the game, it goes to Hollins.
He's like wide open.
Yeah.
Is that wide open, Greg?
This is
just a little.
This is beautiful.
That was beautifully wide open. That could not have happened to a better team, except Winnipeg. If that was against Winnipeg, I'd have been even happier.
Like maybe the DB is thinking that Judge was going to take him, but like it's
he's coming.
He won what, right to left, right?
Yeah, he started wide on the right. So then when they figure
it's a switch, he's probably calling for a switch, but no one's taking the. No one's
I think Judge is
switch.
worried about is that Cottoy coming across his face?
Maybe.
Could
probably.
be. Yeah. Looks like Cottoy.
Someone big and tall.
Yeah.
That's not McInnes.
Yeah, so it's wide open and.
Well, I know down in that red zone, a lot of teams like to go man up, and I think Calgary played a zone, which is what they said Jordan, the OC, saw. I'm going on what I heard on the radio, so that's why they line up. Hollins is wide right, coming right to left.
Well, it definitely looks zone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from two receivers, we can see that. Yeah, it's a zone.
Yeah, we can see here. So.
Oh, that's Hatcher going across there. Single digit? Is that Hatcher?
Yeah, that's Hatcher. Hatcher's going that way, and Hollins is going this way.
Hatcher and Whitehead is already up there, and that might be McInnes in there, I think, maybe. But, I think that was just a perfect play call for that D. Because I think Collins just gets lost in the crowd right there.
Yeah.
Right by the goalpost.
Because this guy was looking that way.
Well, because he sees a flood of receivers going over there, right? I mean, pick your poison.
Yeah.
I think it's.
And a nice pick by the goalpost. I got to give the goalpost credit. That was a nice pick.
Wow. I think it was long gone without the post.
Yeah.
I mean, in a crossing route, in a zone defense, you should be able to guard against a crossing route. If it's man on man, you do a crossing. One guy picks off the other, right? But in a zone defense, that should be better defended.
Well, I like the outcome.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But it was too easy. Like that's like, come on.
It was easy, but it was nice.
No, it's too easy.
It's easy, but we'll take it. Right.
Hey, come on. We've had some grind out games. Take an easy one, right?
Yeah. All right. So next play here. So this is on Calgary's first drive. So this was their second play of that drive.
So it's after the holding call.
Yeah, 1st and 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Boom.
Yeah. So beautiful, tackle behind the line of scrimmage there. That was
That was textbook because no overcommit. That was purely contained. 3 guys there, break it down, and just be waiting. But they played to the line, which I loved.
Yeah.
So it's 1st and 20. I know you're on your own 12-yard line. It's 1st and 20. You throw the ball 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
To your superstar running back.
And it's pretty covered. Like, you have another receiver, like, at the 15-yard line. You have one in, like, at the 22-yard line. Like, you know the defenders are going to be there. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to, maybe you clear it out. Like, you make these guys go deep. But, like, the receiver, like Gary Peters is right there. I mean, well,
beautiful.
You're gonna like your receiver's gonna like slip 2 tackles to get 10 yards.
Now,
So you're like, to me, I just don't get it.
is that Mike Jones? And is that Mike Jones? This is his first game because Jay Edwards Cooper is out, right?
Well, it's Peterson number 1, so he's
No,
he's
that's
at the
Peters
bottom.
at the bottom. But I'm talking in the middle of the screen that
This
had
is,
the
well,
initial.
Edwards Cooper is the corner, right?
This
No, but I thought Edwards Cooper was out this game.
Like, he
Yeah.
would be the corner on the other side, right?
Okay, well
They
then
wouldn't put 2 cornerbacks on the same side of the field, right?
Are you talking
Right,
about
bud?
this guy, Greg?
Yeah, who's
I
is
think
that?
that's Rugamba. He made the tackle, right?
Is that Rugamba? Okay, I can't. I've got no number here, so I'm just okay. That's Rugamba.
That's Rugamba. Yeah, he makes the tackle.
Yeah.
He didn't even bite on the spin, and then Peters is there in case he does. That's just perfectly played.
Yeah. Well, maybe they were hoping that Rugamba was going to go with 14 here, but
14 turned around, which was kind of dumb.
or 14 maybe was supposed to block him, but he missed completely.
I mean, lines are probably in a cover 2 anyway, so
Because
Rugamba has to go for the ball carrier.
yeah, because 14.
Because I don't think Kerry's going to haul up and throw it.
Well, he might. He's still behind the line of scrimmage, but
Yeah, true. Well, it
But
depends on
you
whether
have
this
a
was
cover 2 anyway,
Forward
so.
pass or not. This might be a
Wow,
forward
it's
pass already.
yeah, that's true.
Is that a 4-man rush? 1, 2. I can't
Yeah.
see because it's in the shadows.
Looks like it's 4.
Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's just perfectly nice call by Mr. Phillips. Looks like he's bounced back a little bit with his adjusting during the game, all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's first play of the game, but he's ready. They're ready. It's nice.
Well, they're not going to get beat deep if Calgary doesn't throw deep, right?
Yeah.
I think 14 was supposed to 14 was supposed to block Rugamba, but he couldn't block him until Carey catches the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the time Carey caught the ball, Rugamba's already past him. So that was heads up play on Rugamba, right?
That's a long toss out to Kerry too, eh?
Was that Mills? I can't remember.
So yeah, beautiful play. So then the very next play was our one and only sack for the game.
Take it.
Yeah, our sack numbers are going down, but yeah, we'll take this, like I said.
And the new guy too, Siddiqui. I love it.
Yeah, Siddiqui, yeah.
That's a prop point, maybe, huh?
So how did he get in? Let's take a look at that. So we were rushing 4.
And I think he's on the edge because he's in Sione's place, right? Tehema's. So he's playing contain.
He Mayer steps up into the pocket because
Yeah.
the end is crashing down on him, right?
And is
Exactly.
that Betts on the other side?
I think so. That looks like Betts, yeah. So this guy here looks like Betts. And
Okay.
so he's trying to escape Betts, and he steps up, and by
So he
then
avoids-
he's wide open.
And now who is that he just avoided?
Well, it would have been the other interior lineman.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it's
Barron?
hard to
Is
see.
that Woody Barron?
Probably, probably, but it's hard to see.
It's hard to see
And
the
then he's
numbers.
right there, and that's perfect. I'm happy. Siddiqui played that perfectly. It's cool.
Yeah.
Rally to the ball.
But that's tough. This happened to us the last couple games too when we were sacked, where our quarterback had to step up into the pocket, and when he does that, then the angles are all wrong for the O-line, and the defenders are able to make a beeline towards the quarterback, right? But yeah, I think the sack goes to Siddiqui, but I think like what you guys said, it was forced by Betts. Him beating his guy forced the quarterback to move up, and that opened it up for the sack.
Now, was Josh Banks the other interior lineman, or was it Nathan Cherry? Because I mean, look at the penetration the center of that line got. I mean, that was like right back into the backfield. I mean, that was great. Look at that. I don't know who that is. Right in the center.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah. So both he and this guy got good
and
penetration.
Yeah, they just messed that up, which is great.
Yeah.
Havoc.
Yeah. So it's a team effort. Siddiqui got the credit, but team effort for that sack. Okay.
So maybe that aggressive D that Ryan Phillips is talking about, maybe they learned their lesson a little. Let's back off in the sack department. Just hurry the quarterback or pressure the quarterback, and I don't know. Maybe we just have Calgary's number. Well, that's a little closer now.
Yeah.
Still a little blurry, but I think that's Josh Banks. The guy all over his back.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that is Woody Barron. Yep.
Yeah, once you're out of the pocket, you have no more protection, right? So that's.
Just everything breaks down, so it's just this kind of a scramble.
Yeah.
Mayor's got to get rid of the ball or run with it, right?
Yeah.
At this point, he's trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
He's trying to look for somewhere to go. You right?
Yeah.
Well, it's second and 21, so I mean, and he's probably says I'm just going to eat it. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So then, next play here. This one was a pretty cool play when we saw it. Here, let me run it. So.
Oh, that was beautiful, Mr. Rich. Wow.
Yeah, so that was Hollins. I've got another angle here too. So let me.
Oh, he read his block so nicely there.
Yeah. So that was beautiful for a number of reasons. For me anyway, this was Hollins. How he turns back in, right? Instead of going down, he turns back in and gets like quite a few more yards. So that's a good heads up on him. That was another 15 yards by turning in there. And if we look at it from the beginning, from the pre-snap, he was doing like an S. So he started off here. He ran behind here, got the ball, and moved forward, ran this way, and it's just like it was all over the field. So that was beautiful from that perspective. But then if you look at if you look at all the movement there, Adams could actually hand the ball off to any one of these guys. So he handed it off to Hollins, but it could have gone to this guy, could have gone to that guy, could even have gone to the one behind him.
Is Lucky Whitehead on the field at this point?
I think he's going.
Is that Lucky coming from our left to our right?
Well, he's coming from Adams' left.
Adams left, so this is Lucky here.
I think.
No, I thought that's Hollins.
No, you'll see.
Oh no, okay, there's Hollins. Hollins was the second guy coming from our right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see, there was a fake to Mitzel here too, right? Mitzel pretended he got the ball.
Yep, and that froze the linebacker for just a split second, and the line's blocking as if it's Mitzel.
Yeah. So I'd love to see this play again. We might be using this play a lot because there's like 4 options for Adams there. Who's the lead blocker here? Is that Cottoy?
That's
It's
Cottoy there, yeah.
That's Cottoy, yeah.
And that's Broxton, I think.
Look at that. I love it when I see a big O-lineman guy
taking out the linebacker.
Two little guys.
And then I think McInnes is another block just as there's McInnes' block right here.
No,
sorry, a little bit. I think he's here. There he is.
Yeah. So yeah, just wonderful play. I really like this one. Okay. Next play we have here is
oh, what a catch!
yeah. So I wanted to show you how he got the ball and he secured it on his thigh, and then he got the completion. It was only 7 yards, but it was still quite impressive. I think in live I thought this touched the ground, but on replay it looks like it's good. Okay, next one here. So I think this drive led to 3 points, and then it's back to Calgary's ball. I wanted to show you this because I wanted to get your thoughts here.
Was that? I was outside on that way.
So this was incomplete, but I don't know. I wanted to show you this. This here, is that a holder or what? Is that a holder?
No, not at all. I like to think that looks, again, from the distance I'm in on the screen, that's a hold.
I mean, he was being pushed all the way up on his back numbers on the top of that.
While the jersey's coming down, that's like a horse collar hold.
Can you push from the behind?
You can push, but you can't. Once he's past the quarterback, I think that plane you can push from behind. But I think he's got a hold because I can see the jersey even from here. That's like a horse collar hold, like I said. And never mind the half a step offside on the waggle.
Yeah, well, that was called. So that offside was called. So, but yeah. Our sack numbers have gone down, right? And Arthur was saying maybe the quarterbacks are just getting the ball away quickly, but maybe it's these holds too, right? If he wasn't held there, he's already here. He could have sacked it. He could have sacked the guy, right? Because by the time the ball was thrown, he was already way back here. Yeah.
Well, definitely the strength of the Lions defense in the first handful of games was their pass rush.
Their speed,
Yeah. So, of course, as an opposing team, you're going to try to, like, how do you beat a pass rush? Is you scheme, you get rid of the ball quicker. You bring in 6 offensive linemen and do what Winnipeg did.
Yeah.
And then I think most teams it's easier just to dump off the ball and check it down.
Yeah. But actually, this was a long pass attempt though. That would have been 20 yards had it been a good play.
It's 15. 15 yards downfield.
Yeah. So.
From the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, from the line of scrimmage. That's right. So, all right, next play. Oh, this one was pretty. This one, I was yelling. Okay, I'll play this first. It's not the same angle though, so. Okay, maybe this other angle. Let's see. Yeah, okay, this might be a better angle too. Why I was yelling. When Vern released the ball here, so we were sitting, we were up in the stands and we're here. Right? So from our angle, it looked like the ball was going directly towards the defender.
Yeah. We both went.
Because McInnes was still way out here, and the defenders were here, and the ball was going straight towards the defender.
I think we said no.
I know.
Is that what you guys yell? I'd really like to hear what you guys yell.
I think I was saying, oh no.
And then the last split second, McInnes, makes the distance, steps in front of the defender, and gets the ball, and that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Yeah, that's.
Was that how many targets did McInnes have that day in place of Rhymes?
Let's see.
A lot. he has 2 targets for 1 catch for 16 yards, and that was the 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was beautiful. And I think when I watched the TSN feed, they talked about that too. Like the best way to catch the ball is to block out the defender, which is what McInnes did here. All right. Next play is Hatcher 34 yards.
Wow. A dime.
Yeah. So I mentioned to Arthur that the game started off with the Hollins show. It was like Hollins, and then from here on it was Hatcher all the way. So
there's a name I'm not hearing. Hopefully you'll play this a little further on. We see that name.
Okay. Here's a replay of that. Yeah, that was a beautiful pass. Hatcher was only like 4 yards ahead of the defender.
Okay, can we back that up?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Is that Lucky in the middle? That's Lucky. I can tell. Right there.
This guy?
Right, coming past the goalpost. That's Lucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can he hit him in stride? Because look at all that open field in front of Lucky.
He could have, yeah. Yeah. He could have hit him.
But then he has to navigate with how many defenders?
Yeah, because 57 had already stepped up. So this area.
But I mean, look at that's like 10, 15, 20. I mean, those defenders, I mean, if he catches that, they're already going that. Can he just, I'm just curious, hindsight being what it is.
Yeah. But Hatcher was deeper, so, maybe Vernon wanted to get more yardage. Right. Hatcher was not as wide open, but he was still open. What's this guy walking here?
Yeah, I was going to say, look at that receiver. Is he just standing there?
And this guy's just
Is that
walking.
Hollins? Or maybe that was Hollins doing a hook. Just a stop
Yeah,
stop route.
I'm looking at that guy. It's like, he's just going for a Saturday stroll.
As a quarterback, I'm taking the deeper receiver if he's open.
Yeah.
And he has one guy. And if it wasn't for that one guy, I know there was one guy coming in on a support angle.
Yeah.
But if he beats this guy.
No, the ball's a little. If Hatcher doesn't have to turn back so much, then maybe he's already able to turn his body around, turn the corner.
There's so much space over here, yeah.
But by the time he gets around, that DB has recovered to get the angle to push him, force him out.
Yeah. Yeah, but still 34 yards.
Could Lucky have gotten that 34 yards?
He'd have to take on 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah,
probably.
it's harder. He would have gotten the first down for sure.
Well, because he's at 10 right there. Oh, well, for where Vernon's throwing the ball, he's at 10. So maybe that's a 7-yard gain at where Lucky is.
Well, I mean, this whole space is open. So after he catches the ball, say here, he turns up. I'm sure he will get the first down. But not much more, I guess.
I don't know. I've yet to see a play where he gets turned loose because a lot of his stuff is like, what, 10, 12 yards?
Yeah.
Just asking.
Yeah.
I mean, he has one memorable pass pattern against Winnipeg, right? That was deep, and he went off his fingertips.
He could not have done anything. Put it
exactly. Yeah. So a lot of his catches are those kind of small, short yardage possession type of
where he has to get down or he's going to get killed.
For sure, but I mean, they do open him up. The question is, they're not going to him as much. I mean, we have him as 6 targets for 3 receptions.
Yeah.
For the last game. So,
is he our highest paid receiver?
I would say it's Rhymes.
Right. Rhymes in the new deal. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's hold that thought. Let's talk about Whitehead when we get to him, because I do have footage of him later. All right. Next one again is Hatcher. So it is the Hatcher. Hatcher. Yeah. The Hatcher drive. So. Yeah. So TSN has an ISO here of him.
Oh, that was tight.
Yeah. And Vern was throwing on the run too. Right? He was throwing on the run. So I think he intended to run because he started running out of the pocket from the get-go, right? So he wasn't flushed out. That was by design. Yeah.
Wow, spot on.
But you see how Calgary number 0 was like going 3 times the speed of this guy who's supposed to cover, Hatcher. And he ends up making the tackle. So anyway, yeah, it was the Hatcher show. And then the next play is the touchdown pass, just to seal the deal, right? Yeah, this one was beautiful too.
Greg wide open in the end zone.
I wouldn't say wide open, but open. Where's anybody? Okay, there's McKinnis going out.
Yeah, he beats 0.
Oh, beautiful pattern.
Yeah.
Open.
Open.
Very
No,
open.
Wide open.
Very open.
Very open, yeah, but not wide open.
I mean, we hit like they were on the 5-yard line, right? So
Yeah, wide open is Hollins. I mean, that
yeah,
those are the ones that you get nervous. The ball's coming, you better catch it.
yeah. But that was like no risk there. It just accelerates and boom, beautiful.
Yeah,
That's Tacoma time.
beautiful. So those were the Q1 plays. Then we have the Q1 stats here. So
Wow.
10 first downs, 2 for them, 142 passing yards to 13. They have 22 rushing to our 6, so net 144 to 33. So we have 15 offensive plays. They have 8. So yeah, it's pretty dominant first quarter.
And now they're playing from behind the 8 ball, as Arthur said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some more highlights from the other quarters. Not as many as Q1, but still some. So here's a continuation of the Hatcher. Nice move there.
Was he tackling him already out of bounds, or was he still in bounds?
I think he initiated the tackle inbounds.
So Hatcher was not the
Boink.
he was not the original intended. And the ball was not intended to go to him because it looks like Adams was trying to go right, and then his path was blocked by this big guy.
Is that our way?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
No, it's a 40. So okay.
Yeah, so a D line, and then he goes the other
Stop
side.
it there. There's a guy open way further downfield too. But then is that guy in Hatcher in VA's face? Because look at right there by the TSM logo. That guy's open.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
disgustingly open.
Yeah, but at this point, Adams is scrambling for his life. He's being chased by this big guy.
Someone's closing in on him.
Yeah,
He's got no time to plan and pump
Exactly.
it 30 yards downfield.
just throws it over 40. 40 almost gets
Barely.
almost gets that ball. Maybe if he was a few pounds lighter, he might have gotten it. And then look at this move here.
Nice move.
And then all the yak yards here. Another move here.
And almost lost the ball.
Yeah, look at the ball handling there. Oh, he did. Yeah. So, and finally, but beautiful play.
Mm-hmm.
Next one I want to show you here is an almost interception by our man Gary Peters.
Oh.
So when we first saw this, I thought, Peters, you gotta hold, catch the ball better, right? That was in his hands. But on the replay, we could see why he dropped it.
Did the receiver become a DB?
Well, no, actually, is it here?
It's really the receiver's knee.
Yeah. So he was trying to secure the ball.
Oh, in his stomach, and the knee comes up?
Yeah, and the knee comes up, just...
Right there at the sock.
Yeah, he's trying to bring it down, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to bring it down because he's still in the air. I mean...
Yeah. So had it not been for the defender's knee there, that would have been an interception. Because I don't think the defender or the receiver was intending to knee the ball out, right? So... But he redeems himself later, so I just wanted to show that. Next one I have is another Hatcher. There's a lot of Hatchers on this.
Hatcher.
Yeah. So Adams had time to set up. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
He is strong. Is he our new Vernon for sure?
Hatcher.
He's not lightning fast, but man.
Yeah, last year he was making tough catches, so I think he's kind of assumed that role.
Tough clutch catches.
Yeah.
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 I mean, him and Rhymes are the go-to receivers right now when they're in the lineup. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So Adams waited, and he took that hit, right? He had to.
Hang on. 1, 2. Wow, I don't know. Based on that little article they threw out there about Zach Collaros and his late hit, that looks a little more egregious than the rollover on the ground. But hey, I'm not bitter. No sour grapes here. Adam Bighill planting Dane Evans. How does that fit in that little narrative that those fans of Zach Collaros sent out? How does that fit in the narrative? He lowers his head long after that ball's going. He didn't have to lower his head.
Well, I mean, this is slow motion, right? Let's see. It's
kind of bang. But you know what, Greg? You know what I'm gonna say. As long as we get those calls in the playoffs.
But that's a 50-50 shot there, buddy.
yeah, but
Okay. So next one is a little bit negative. This one, Adams gets intercepted.
Oh, I saw his post game. He said that's on him. He's trying to force it.
Yeah.
Is that Hatcher?
He's going to Lucky. Lucky was his cover 0 receiver.
This guy here?
That's Lucky? Okay.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
In his post-game interview.
Here, we can see it better here.
Oh, yeah, that was cover 0. I saw that last frame. That was cover 0.
They lined up, but then all the way dropped. But I don't even think Lucky was really that open to begin with.
Yeah. No, Adam said, I think he said in his postgame, he has to see that.
Yeah.
Like, see, Lucky's not open. I mean, the guy's right beside him, right?
Lucky's here, but...
That's throwing to a spot, hoping your receiver beats his guy to it, kind of like the McInnes one a little earlier, right?
Exactly, yeah. So he just didn't see 53 come across. Yeah.
McInnes was open. At least, he wasn't impeded, right? So, I don't know. That was a support decision.
Yeah, because you see 53 lined up on the line here.
57 all the way.
57.
Oh, 57, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he...
It was picked up. The blitz was picked up. He didn't really need to get rid of it that quick.
Nope.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but he doesn't know, right?
But I think as Lucky's got if he sees the safety coming on a blitz, he's got to shorten that route and make it a sharper route to get in the middle.
But was there a guy that dropped in that affected his route? I saw a guy
No. Look at that. I don't...
No, back it up a little bit more. Right there. Did that guy... I can't see because Lucky's off screen, but did this guy here...
Ham Judge? No, I mean, it's hard to say. But he's got to, if he sees this, the safety coming, then
he's got to cut up inside where Judge was.
Exactly.
But did Judge force him out farther because did Judge give him a shot? Because that's within 5 yards.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's look at the original angle.
But now we can't see Lucky.
Yeah, so you don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
Because you're saying he needs to cut up in where the pay works is into that little hole a little faster versus the wide square out. Yeah, but
Like once you see if you're the cover zero receiver and it's a cover zero, like the safety's going, Adams is going to be looking for you. You got to make yourself a bigger target, right?
Yeah.
Love you, Lucky. Love you.
Yeah. I mean, number 4 was.
That then to your points, Judge does play a role.
because if he's already taking 6, it's going to be hard for him to cut up inside because he's now got to get in underneath an inside Judge to get into that middle quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Adams owned it, right? This is
yeah.
on Adams, and he can't throw that ball.
No, he's got to see it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to throw it away or whatever, right? So yeah,
He didn't see this guy, right? I mean, he did a good move, right? He started on the line and then kind of on Adams' blind spot, right? This is Adams' field of view. He's in the blind spot and he moves up, right?
Yeah, and maybe Alway got into the cover zero spot faster than Lucky did.
Yeah. Well, there's no one in front of him, so.
is that why like the NFL likes quarterbacks like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6"?
Well, they did until they cut Strebler. Or waived him, sorry.
Well, not like prototypical NFL quarterbacks, right? They can see over the
their
line.
Their linemen are like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", right?
Yeah, so they have to see over the line. So,
All right. So next play, I wanted to show you this as well.
Hold.
is that hold there?
Yeah.
Hold.
So
This is again,
Menard.
yeah.
That's outside the planes here. That's like up here, man.
Yeah.
And look at that. He's twisting them.
Yeah. So if he hadn't been
Lordy B.
held, right? If he hadn't been held,
And look at that. they deflected.
Oh, there's the flag. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
there's the
Holy
flag.
cow, man. I mean, what more can you ask for?
but is this why our sacks are going down?
Yeah, they're holding them. And they're not calling it.
and look at
I
this.
think I was talking to Arthur during the week after our Winnipeg episode that touchdown to Schoen and the touchdown that he got in against the Elk the next week, that same lineman grabbed the same defensive guy the same way on that and did the exact same thing and he pulled him down. This one, Menard didn't go down, but in those 2 shown touchdowns, the BC game and the Elk game, that same old lineman pulls this.
And like I remember this play, and like like it was a play, and I think it was a series earlier. Same thing happened, Menard, and Menard's hands goes up like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
No flag on that one.
Yeah.
So I think this one, they think, oh, yeah, that's true. That's
That
good.
was blatantly obvious. My lord, his pad was showing.
But at this time, there was a lot of penalties calling Calgary at this point.
Yeah,
so I'm just wondering if they just
started missing some. Because this one here, if you look at that, it's almost a block from the behind. Almost, right? I mean, it's. What do you think?
I think maybe it's quite because again it's hip to hip, and now the ref is looking at Mayer.
Yeah. So anyway, but they called it on Menard. So yeah. So maybe I've been too hard on our D line not getting sacks. They're being held, right.
Except when they play Toronto Winnipeg, because Toronto Winnipeg don't hold, Roland. They do not hold.
Quarterback doesn't throw more than 15 yards across over the line of scrimmage. I mean, what do you expect? How much time does he need to throw a check down?
Not that much.
There you go. Yeah. How many sacks can you get if they're just going to throw check downs and like 5-yard passes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next play is beautiful. This one here, and it's on our guy Matthew Betts.
Thank you. Did he just take that right out of the guy's hand?
He did. He was so fast.
Holy cow. I don't think I've ever seen that. In all the years I've watched this game, I don't think I've ever seen anyone take the ball out of the punter's
so
hands.
fast. the punter was like, what am I going to do? I'm not ready to kick yet, and this guy's right in front of me. So
did you just go here, Mr. Betts? Because, I mean, as a punter, you take that snap, you're looking at the ball and the laces and your hand placement.
Exactly.
You've got your right hand on the front corner and you got your left hand on the back corner of the back point of the ball.
Yeah.
And you're not looking at what's coming at you.
That's
you
right.
You don't see it until you've actually made contact with the ball and look up.
He sees this big black shirt right in front of him, as he's about to kick, and he doesn't kick. And actually, I don't know if we could see this in this.
Yeah, as soon as he let go of the ball, Betts took it.
Yeah, because he was right through. He didn't take the penalty because he didn't go over. He didn't run through the long snapper. Right. He
went right through the A gap.
Yeah, he did a little move there. The right guard should have taken him, but anyway, so he was right through. And he had his hands up. So again, we were sitting over here, so I could see Betts' facial expression, right? He had his hands up, and then on his facial expression, it's like, huh? The ball's not in the air yet. it's still in the guy's hands.
It's right here.
It's still in the guy's hands. So then he puts both hands down and knocks the ball out.
At that speed, that's bang bang. That's oh man, if that ain't prop point, holy cow! Yeah. And then who picked? Oh, is that our new guy Cooks?
That was Renee, number 24, Renee.
Renee Parker? Is it Parker? No, he's 21.
I think he must be.
Oh, and I think the high snap helped him get in there too. That extra half a second, because that's a high snap.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
that is.
I'm about to kick the ball. Go, whoa! I saw a black shirt coming in. And then Betts goes from, preventing
a block
to just, batting it down. So that was a beautiful play. On the stats, what did they call this on the stats?
They call it a block. They call it a
fumble.
Fumble. Because he didn't block a kick.
That's right, because it was never kicked, was never made. Yeah. Correct.
So it's just a fumble.
Yeah.
Forced fumble.
Forced
fumble, yeah.
Is that Hollins on teams?
Hollins?
Is that a 13 or a 30? No, that's not Hollins.
No, I think the nameplate's too short.
Oh, it's a 39. 39. Sorry.
33 Rugamba.
No, I'm talking this guy right here. Oh, that's a 93, I think. He's way too big to be Rugamba. Okay.
Yeah, Siddiqui.
Oh, there's Ryder Varga. Love it.
Yeah. So a beautiful play. Next play here is
Smoke.
Yeah.
This was
who lost the ball.
He lost the ball and recovered it. Yeah. So,
this is pretty much game over right here.
Yeah. This was.
This is almost like the Western semi.
Yeah. All the celebration there, but he. I don't know if this angle you could see how he fumbled the ball. He almost lost it there.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Close. If he had lost that ball, that would be in the highlight reels for a different reason.
Well, did he just go off his own hip as he was trying to secure it?
So he had it secured here.
And when he turned,
he
lost
just slips
it. Butterfingers there.
But good on him, to be able to recover it back off his helmet. So, yeah. So yeah, this was only the end of Q2, but like Arthur said, the game's pretty tough for Calgary at this point. Yeah, 16-9 first downs, 234 to 90 passing, 306 to 132 total net yards.
My goodness, the two rushing yards for both teams don't even add up to what Calgary did against Toronto.
No, I mean, it's halftime anyways. But, look at 72 yards rushing for BC. 44 for Calgary.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to have the dominant? I think there was a lot of the pundits that were saying post game in the print media and the online stuff that you've got Carey, you've got Mills. What's with all the dinky dunk passes? But again, when you're behind, you got to go downfield. But then again, like Arthur says, how do you go downfield when you're doing dinky dunk passes?
Yeah. Well,
I think that Hollins, I guess that pitch, I think they probably counted as rushing yards here, but then in the official scoreline, they probably made it a pass.
Because of the pitch behind the line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, he pitched it. Yeah, behind line, but he pitched it forward, right?
It was a forward pitch, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think they counted that as your rushing here, but in the final.
Okay, so okay, all right.
Because the Lions didn't have that many rushing yards.
That's true.
Total.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's not as bad, but I guess that's considered.
Still net yards.
Yeah,
But it would just go. Some goes from rushing to passing.
Yeah, that's right.
Then that passing number looks even more one-sided.
Yeah. All right. So in Q3 we've got a couple sacks on Adams. So let's break this down. What happened here?
Wow, two clean. Two in clean.
I mean, it looks like Calgary's defense stiffened in the third quarter, and Adams little slow to adjust.
Did they rush 6?
Okay, let's take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6. Number 6 comes late.
He's got to get rid of it. Alway is doing a really good job of going right to smoke. So Adams had to.
Could he not roll? No, can't roll because Judge is there, but at least try.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has a brace on too.
So the late blitzer got through clean, but
And this guy got through here too.
Got through as well.
Yeah, so you had two guys coming
Can you
in.
not hit that guy with the TSN logo on our screen?
But there's
Or is it
always
smoke?
closing
Okay.
on him.
Oh,
Always
he's
closing
closing on it? Okay. Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, correct.
So he should just throw it away, but I guess
There's a Lion helmet here at the bottom of the screen too, but maybe he didn't turn in time. See that held right there?
This guy. Hard to see if he was covered or not. I guess.
Yeah, I can't.
We can look at.
I mean, they gotta know who the hot receiver is, right? So we just don't know who's the hot guy.
Yeah. So that helmet that you were talking about was this guy.
Yeah, they're all going deep, and then the guy in the middle of the field, there's a linebacker closing in on him, and then smoke is being marked. So.
What about that guy there on the white sign?
Well, yeah, but he's coming there, but the linebacker is closing in on him.
Well, this linebacker here on the others ad.
Yeah.
Oh, he's closing on there. Okay, and then you got this guy here.
It's Lucky. Yeah, Lucky. There's two receivers there in the middle of the field, but
by this time, I don't think Adams can see Lucky because those two are in his face right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Lucky could have been.
Lucky would have been gone.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there's nobody. Oh no, there's.
I think Adams is just trying to, like, if he can buy some time and get open, then you'd hit him, right? But
yeah,
at this point. Two guys miss, and then there's a third coming in. So, yeah.
So, tough. And then we have another sack here. Pretty soon after. This might have been. I don't know if this might have been immediately after that too, or yeah.
Rushing 3.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like that.
Yeah, this one was bad because,
And how many linemen were standing there looking? I'm just curious.
Okay. Well, actually, this one was a little bit tricky. I do kind of feel a bit bad for the O-line here because if you take a look at it, you see how they lined up. The 3 guys, you got 2 way out here and 1 way out here. And there's absolutely no one in front of the O-line. So I think they got confused, right? Who's going to cover who?
But you'll see what Courtier does here. You'll see what he does. He knocks him
Into Adams.
I know. Like, if he didn't do that.
And that's dangerously close to twisting that knee. Not intentionally, but I mean just with motion of the tackle, that is holding your breath time.
Like, this is where, like, if once Couture comes in, like, Adams got to go up, right? So
Adams got to take off right up that hole. Look at it.
Well, right when Couture left that spot,
he's got to go.
Yeah.
So he meets Judge, but he slides at 8 yards. Fine, right?
Yeah.
Like right there, start running forward. Or
Adams
earlier.
almost slipped him, but anyways.
Yeah.
I think that was just.
So yeah.
They should have like.
C'est pathétique, huh?
Yeah. So I think you called it, Arthur. It's the center freeing the pass rusher there. Because if he didn't hit him, the left guard would have still had him, right?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Or you can like go and support the guard and the tackle on the left side, right? But
yeah.
But please do a better job of the support.
Or
and
like
there's Perkins on his back. What the heck?
Well, falling behind him. Falling behind your two guys and then like provide that support, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Perkins rides his guy out of the play.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then he trips on the guy going for Adams. Okay, fair enough. Pearson's on his knees. Like, come on, man.
Well, he kind of got twisted because Couture kind of got that little boost.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
So, yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. The next one here is a bad play, but it didn't bite us, but it could have bitten us. This was a really bad snap, and it forced Flintoff to do a
Wow, still some good distance without stepping into it, sorta.
Yeah,
and they got no yards. They got net 5-yard gain.
Yeah. So, but they didn't score off this, so we kind of got free there. But yeah, shows you how important the snap is, right? So by the end of the third quarter, these are the stats. We're now at 273 to 186. Okay, so going into the fourth quarter, we have a couple more highlight plays. This one again is on Hatcher.
They needed that play because the offense was kind of struggling in the third quarter. So
Stagnant?
Yeah, I mean a couple of stacks were allowed, and there's some couple of tune outs.
Yeah, he gets hit there.
Another shot on Adams. Holy cow!
Yeah.
No, that's what happens when you go downfield, right? You're gonna get some shots.
Yeah. And then later on in the fourth quarter, we have another touchdown. This one was to Lucky.
After Adams always gets tackled by his own guy. Beautiful throw against his body.
Yeah. So we've got another angle here.
Rolling left, throwing right. That is hard. Oh, tight spiral too. Look at that. That was be wide open.
Yeah. So that's beautiful.
Oh,
So
we have
next-
a VA fan among us. They're great.
I'm just saying, mechanics-wise, it is hard to roll left as a right-handed quarterback and put that kind of zip on the ball. Mechanics-wise, he got his hips around before the body, and I mean that was like a catapult. That was well done mechanically.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've as a leader, I am fully in the Vernon Adams camp now.
Awesome.
Okay. Wonderful.
As the moniker Big Play VA, no, you're never gonna sell me on that. No.
He's actually taking that away. He says Vernon Adams.
Win the day VA, I will stay with that.
But a few big plays this game, right?
Few big plays.
A few big
Well,
plays.
he's not forcing anything, and he's being smart.
Yeah. So this one was at 25 yards. This is Whitehead's first touchdown of the year. So you guys were saying, he is being targeted, but the types of passes that he's been getting, are shorter passes, right?
At first, I thought they were guarding against his hamstring, like just trying to protect that hamstring. Don't try to make him stretch the field and blow that hamstring again.
Yeah.
But has he been stuck in that rut because of the emergence of Hollins? Because I did see that, Lions interview with Lucky, who's the next fastest guy to you? And he says Hollins is sneaky fast.
Yeah.
But could you switch their spots once in a while, like put Lucky out there and target? I mean, Hollins has to be what, 2-3 to 1 targets to Lucky? I don't know. Is there a stat line on that?
On this game?
Just overall.
Yeah, I don't know overall.
Because we know Hollins stepped in last year and he filled in beyond admirably for Lucky. I mean, especially in those playoff games. I mean, without Hollins, do we win that Western semi? Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But now you've got all these great receivers. I mean, does Adams need to spread the ball around more? Is it the play calling? Is Adams, is he Hatcher rhymes heavy? Hatcher Hollins rhymes heavy? I don't know. But I am of the camp that Lucky is now becoming the Javon Cottoy of last year. Or has become, due to that injury, due to the nagging hamstring. Is this a long con that they're going to unleash Lucky come the stretch drive, the playoffs? What do you think, Arthur?
Well, he was targeted 6 times in last game. Hollins had 8 targets. Keon had 10 targets.
Yeah.
So Cottoy had 3, McInnes 2, Smoke 3, Mackey 1. So he got targeted 6 times.
Yeah.
Maybe it looks to me, seems like he's kind of like a decoy receiver. They're going to throw short, throw short. And then sometimes he's going to do a double move and go deep.
Sometimes.
Well, again, there's the play could have been he's going deep, but then the protection breaks down. So we just don't know, right?
Yeah.
Unless we know, if we knew what the play was and how it's executed, then I think we can have a better grasp on if he's being left out, right? So because we don't have that, it's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say, if I'm a quarterback and I have a chance to throw it downfield, I'm throwing to Ryan, and everyone's healthy, because this is your question, right? I'm throwing to Rhymes first, because he's a tall guy and makes big catches. Second, I'm throwing to Keon. He makes tough catches inside. And these 2 guys, when they're healthy, they're your slot backs. So it's a lot easier throwing to your slot back than your wideout,
absolutely.
right?
The Canadian game is a slot back game.
Exactly.
We know. I mean, back in the Flutie days in Calgary, it was Dave Sapunjas and Alan Pitts.
Right. So
Here in BC, it was Don Blair made a living as a slot back, and I mean, other than Merv, Merv was a wideout, and Swerve and Merv, that was a rare case. But yeah, the CFL game, I think, with the way offenses have evolved, it is a slot back game.
Yeah. Well,
they're lining up Lucky on the outside, and it's him and Hollins on both outsides, right? So
Lucky's here on this play.
Yeah, they'll move him around, all right? So you're a defensive coordinator, Greg. You see what's happening to this game. Which receivers are you taking away? As a defensive coordinator.
This particular game, I'm taking away Hatcher, and I'm taking away, there's no Rhymes, so I'm taking away who's Rhymes' guy here? McInnes or Hollins?
So, okay, I'll give you have a choice to, okay, you're going to key on, you're on Hatcher. Are you keying more on Hollins, or are you keying more on Whitehead?
I'm going to key more on Hollins. The way this game was going, I'm going to key more on Hollins. That was your question.
So that's so I just don't know what Calgary was doing in this game. Maybe Lucky was closely marked. So we just don't know, right? I'd have to see all the plays and get the end zone play, right? So I'm looking at right now, if I see where Lucky is, he's running into...
He makes a good move here, right? He does a stutter step, freezes this guy.
And then he takes off,
And then he takes off, and that's why he's wide open.
Well, see that he does those small short patterns, and then he does a double move, and that's why he's wide open.
Yeah. But he's the deepest guy here, right? Or are there any more receivers deeper than him?
Maybe there's a Calgary.
No, here's the other question: has he lost a step with that injury?
It's hard to say. Because Because I know when I don't know if you guys know this, but when he first came back and kind of slowly back into the lineup,
they were having to tell him where to go. Like, over here. Like, I don't know if he was right with the playbook or not. I don't know. Like you said, unless we're on the sidelines, we're in that locker room, we're in the receiver room, the offensive meetings, we don't know. But, I mean, we're left to the subjective guessing and the, like the TSN guy said, his body language on the sideline after, I think he was a cover zero receiver and he wasn't looking because he's probably in his head, maybe thinking, I'm not getting the ball. It's not going to me anyway, when it should have been going to him, when it was coming to him. He had to have a chat on the sidelines. I think they said, again, I wasn't watching the game. I was on the road, but I think they said D. Rhymes came over and had a chat with him and kind of snapped him back into it. Then this touchdown, I think, took a lot of the weight off that Lucky's been feeling. Maybe Lucky's not only is he feeling underutilized, maybe he's feeling like, I'm not contributing. I don't know. But, I mean, Luck too fast has got to be, got to have an increased role as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. But again, if he is a luxury right now, right? If he is quote unquote your number 4 receiver in this receiving core, that he, if healthy, can give you a lot more than that. So, when the games count against top quality competition, like namely Toronto and Winnipeg, then you're hoping that Lucky can get open, because they're going to take away. They're going to take away Rhymes and Hatcher, 100%.
Well, I'm going on record, and Lucky, if you hear this, if you see us on any of our social media feeds, I guarantee you Lucky can get open. And I'm going out on a limb that, in those games that are going to matter down the home stretch, they better use him because he'll get open. But in the meantime, you got to keep him interested. Do you not? You got to keep him, quote, happy.
You definitely have to keep him happy. You got to keep him involved. And,
See, that beautiful misdirection concerto that Roland loves so much. Lucky was one of the options. Why couldn't you line up Lucky where Hollins was and do that same pass to Lucky? I mean, Lucky was instrumental in that comeback victory in Calgary with Nate. Was it not? Lucky, that passing, that third down gamble, and then of course Vernon. But Lucky was an integral part of that offense.
Yeah, we just don't know his injury status. Maybe they need to nurse him and not push it.
Yeah.
And if he, maybe he's playing a little possum, like, oh, maybe I don't have that step, and then, hey, when the games count, I think he's gonna be there, and he when you need a big play and you throw it his way, I think he'll make the play.
No doubt.
Yeah. So
Luck too fast is going to be there.
And, so I think that's just what you got to do. In the meantime, I think you got to feature him a little bit more, and maybe it's just a combination of maybe there are a handful of plays, but then the protection broke down, and they had to they had to check it down.
Yeah.
Right. So we just don't know, but I think the line. Good, and again, this is a nice problem to have. The Lions have an embarrassment of riches at receivers, so you just have to bide your time, and we hope that if number one, we just hope for full health for Lucky when the games really matter.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard me say, and no slighting to Mr. Terry Williams. But you know what? If Lucky's hammy is where it needs to be, put him back on kicks. He was electrifying as a kick returner in Winnipeg. He was electrifying when he got here. I don't see why we don't put him back there. And sit Williams for a little bit, because I'm sorry, Mr. Williams has yet to wow me. Yeah, he had broke off that big one in Winnipeg when the game was anything but in doubt. But I don't know. Lucky's like a racehorse. He's got to run, and if the hamstring is healthy, And then again, you've got Smoke. Yes, you've got Shivers. Yes, you've got the running backs. But those pitches to Hollins, Lucky, if healthy, is as fast, if not faster. You got to keep him keep him interested, right? You got to keep him happy, and he's got some tenure, does he not?
I think he does. Yeah, definitely tenure, and he's got respect, right? And he's a proven commodity. So.
Yeah. Sure. So I really think I'm calling you out, Jordan, Mr. OC, Mr. McSimic. We need to see more number 7.
Yeah.
7 equals 7s. There we go. Yeah. That's my cryptic
love it.
7s equal 7s. We need to see more of Luck Too Fast.
Okay.
Lucky, if you hear me, if you see me, if you read me, this is coming from Trivia King. You know who I am. So we're calling you out. We need more of you. We need to see more number 7.
Yes, you heard it.
Enough said.
Yeah, 7 equals 7. All right.
Or do I say 7 equals 6 plus a convert? Nah, 7 equals 7. 7 equals 7. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. New hashtag. All right. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at. We got a couple more plays. Next one here is, unfortunately, another sack. It is the third of 3 sacks that Adams had to.
This is the one I really didn't like.
This was the cringing one because he didn't get up too quick.
Well, he said that his knee bent in a way he didn't want to.
Yeah.
The thing is, why is he in the game? Look at the score and look at the time left in the clock.
Yeah. This was
7 minutes left.
7:39 left. Yeah.
It's his right knee, right? Yeah, right knee.
Yeah.
So this guy just came
it was his left, but I didn't remember it anyways.
Yeah, came off the edge untouched. No one else. Mitchell was looking at the right side. How do you?
Mitchell's helping on Alway, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I think was it Cottoy's coming in?
That's Dozier coming on a halfback, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Cottoy and Mitchell take Alway, which by rights you should, because he's a wrecking crew on his own.
And I think I don't know. Vernon was was hesitant to just
run. I think the heel of his cleat got stuck in the turf and it just tweaked it just that little. Oof.
Yeah. But he says just some ice and he'll be ready to go next game, but yeah.
Yeah. You see the knee turns outwards as he's going down. You don't like that.
Yeah. So I think he should have run.
Well, number one, I don't think he should have been in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, 34-9 with 7 minutes left?
Yeah.
Come on. Really? And number one. And number two, he should have run, or he should know better. Like, you don't need to throw to win the game, right? At this point, look where you are in the field.
Yeah.
Understand, it should really be about self-preservation.
Yeah.
Like he can see Dozier coming. Yeah, don't tell me you can't see him.
Yeah,
so I think he just had maybe he, like you said, Greg, he stumbled. He's just gonna get a good grip, and then that was it. And maybe Alway affected. He got penetration on 2 Lions, which I didn't like.
Yeah, well, there's 2 receivers there.
And then he lost that lost that vector, right?
Yeah, see, now watch that knee. See, his heel just got stuck there, and I think because I think it is his right. I thought it was his right knee, but anyway.
Yeah. He should have just thrown it away.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be number one, he shouldn't be on the field. 2, he should have thrown it away.
Yeah.
They should have said, okay, conserve it, don't take a hit. We don't need you to take a hit. This game is very, very, very in hand, right? We don't need you to take a hit. And he took a hit. And then that was the last time he saw the field.
Yeah. Any word on how he's feeling this week?
His post-game practice sounded okay.
Yeah, because he did say he tweaked it a bit, right?
Yeah, see, if he hadn't stopped there, if he had just kept running, I think he'd have been okay.
Yeah, but these 2 receivers were kind of in his way, right? So.
Well, I think he saw Alway, so he's like, which way is he going to go if he beats these guys? And by that time, that he who hesitates is lost. In this game, he who hesitates is sacked.
Yeah. All right. So, last play I have queued up here is Peters redeeming himself. He got an interception here. That's beautiful.
I'm sorry, Ro. I could have got that interception. But yes. I'm sorry. That was a gift.
It was.
Hey, if Toronto gets credit for 6 interceptions because they were thrown directly at them,
Yeah.
Peters gets this one, right?
But my God, this was by a third string quarterback or whatever. Ours was by our number 1A starter. But anyway,
But I noticed.
I gotta
at
give
the
you know
game-
what? I gotta give the celebration was pretty good here too. The piano man, love it.
I noticed at the game that this guy kind of gave up on the ball too. He just kind of stopped there.
Well, he's thinking if I catch this ball, Josh Wood's gonna kill me.
So yeah. Anyway, those are the plays that I've got queued up for this week. Again, great win, dominant win. Maybe Calgary didn't put up as good a competition as we might have, as they could have, but we'll still take the win. Good win. All right, so it's time for Greg's Fashion Corner. Let's take it away, Greg.
Alrighty. Leo's Legion, it's time again for, like Roland said, my brethren, Passion Corner, where we give out the props and we give out the poops. 37-9. Not a lot of poops here, but we're definitely going to start with the props. And the number 1 prop point goes to Mr. number 4, Hollins-Hatcher. Look, we're looking at what? 9 receptions, 170 yards. He had more yards in his catches than Calgary's offense in total. That is definitely worth a prop point. The number 2 prop point has to go to another receiver, and that is another H, Mr. Hollins. And what you got here, 7 receptions, again, 80 yards. We're averaging first downs and double first downs for both of these receivers. Second prop point to Mr. Hollins. And hey, we got to give a prop point to our man on D, and that is Bo Loco. 8 tackles. I'm telling you, Bo Loco was all over the place. He said he was coming back this year with a vengeance, and that he has. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of honorable mentions out there. So let me give some honorable mentions to Monsieur Betts on specials. Tell you, forced fumble, taking it right out of the hands of the punter, a block, whatever you want to call it. Definitely a bright point on special teams. And I'll tell you what, I got to give a dishonorable mention to you, the fans out there in Leo's Legion that did not buy a ticket. Your butts should have been in those seats right there. Big poo to you. Mr. Doman is doing everything he can to make this team relevant. He is doing everything he can to get people from the island, the interior, the suburbs to this place to cheer on this team. So where were you, poopy fans? Were your butts on the toilet for your poop point? Probably, because they should have been in those seats. And one last shout out to Mr. Luck Too Fast. Honorable prop point to you, man, for hanging in there. You are underutilized. You are almost forgotten. We need 7 so we can score more 7s. I'm out.
All right, wonderful. 7 equals 7s. You heard it here. You
Hashtag it.
I agree with you on that poop point. I mean, the Lions outdrew the Edmonton Elks by 600 fans.
Ouch.
And, there is a dramatic difference between the play of these two teams, especially at home.
Now, to be fair, the number that Edmonton might be the tickets sold, it might not be butts in seats.
Tickets sold.
But come on. Now, can I use the word? Yeah, I'm not going to use that word. I've whined about this for decades. Since I was in grade school. We all know that east of the Rockies, there's football. I do not know what is wrong with Lotus Land. I do not know what is wrong with the Lower Mainland. Football is a great sport, but maybe y'all ought to come out, put your butts in the seats and check it out. This is the most affordable sports ticket in the city. The Canucks, you got to mortgage something to go watch them play. I'm not going to go there because my brother Arthur, I love him. But come on, the Canucks, not anywhere near as entertaining as the Lions. They play 82 games, 40 some odd at home. There's only 10 games, guys. Come check this out. The Dome is a great atmosphere. And again, we need fans here. There's a whole pile of schools that are folding their football program because the Lower Mainland has forgotten about this great sport. I grew up playing it. Roland grew up playing it. Arthur grew up playing it. So come on, Mr. Doman is reaching out to those grassroots. We're targeting those kids in grade school and high school. The NFL, be what it be, a lot of money, a lot of whatever. But this is the CFL. This is our game. This game has been around longer. Yeah. It is harder to get 10 yards and 3 downs with an extra guy coming to take your head off. I don't care. You think the talent is better down the NFL. Again, those that are out there, get on here and disagree with me. I'm here. My mouth is flapping. My gums are waving. The NFL, 4 downs to get 10 yards. Let's see. Last I checked, 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. That's 6'6". Running backs are what, 6 feet down there? Fall forward 4 times, you got a first down. It is much harder up here. And hey, I grew up playing the defensive back because I'm not that big a guy. Well, I'm a lot bigger now because that's donuts, but that's another story. But I was not a running game fan because those linemen coming around the corner, I didn't like them very much. But this is a pass-oriented offense, and just like when I'm going to bring the connection here now. Just like when Pavel Bure got that puck behind the net, he pulled you out of your seat. Well, I'm sorry, when that ball, VA puts that ball up in the air to either Rhymes, to Hatcher, to Holland, and my man Lucky, who we need to see more of, that's going to pull you out of your seat. Is it not? Is there not that in the stands from all the fans that are there? Not you poopy ones, but the ones that bought a ticket, when that ball's up in the air, that pulls you out of your seat to see what's going to happen. Yeah. So come on, fans, show up. Do Mr. Doman a favor. Do your family a favor. Come out and watch a great sport.
Yeah, well said, Greg.
Well said.
Well said.
I have a lot of things to talk about, but to what you said, but I will say, I agree with you. The fans need to come out. NFL, it's not that easy to get a first down. But
okay, we'll hold that debate another time. But if you're listening here and you've got some thoughts on why you think it is the way it is, or if you have thoughts on how you think it could be better, let us know. Comment on this and let us know. If you got some ideas on what you think we can do to help, let us know too. We'd love to do our part. But yeah, for sure, if you're listening to this and you're saying, well, I can just watch it on TV, it's different when you're in the stadium. It's just completely different, and it's so affordable. It's not going to break the bank. If you can't watch,
especially with all the subsidizing Mr. Dolan's doing. Come on, help him out.
Yeah, and if you can't watch every game, just come to some games. The atmosphere is very different. I was telling my son that the in stadium atmosphere is quite exciting. It's quite fun. It's a lot of fun. People are having fun. Arthur, you're saying this was a boring game, but we did the wave.
We did the wave.
The wave went around quite a few times. And,
it was.
And my pet peeve, when it was our turn on offense, the wave died down. So that
it did?
It did die down.
Hallelujah.
Sorry,
we had smart fans this game.
Yes.
I would say, just say that it was boring in the way as the outcome was not in doubt. And that way,
one of those games.
Yeah, it was like, okay, one team's running, has offense, and they're scoring and they're attacking vertically. The other team is dinking and dunking along the way, and well, let's pass it 5 years and he breaks 2 tackles and hopefully they make first down.
I can see that, but let's go back to, say, Winnipeg. One team was running and scoring and passing and scoring, and their offense was working. That other team that was there in orange, they weren't even dinking and dunking. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
But it looked like they were having a lot of fun in that stadium, and it was full. But again, that's east of the Rockies, so let's change that geographical ratio and let's have some fun football here.
Greg, some people will say there's no football above the 49th parallel.
We'll get into that. Hey, any of you fans out there? And I'm calling out one of my buddies out there. You know who you are, Mr. Let me call you Mr. C. You call me. You said you're coming out to a CFL game. I'm going to hold you to that because I know you're a diehard NFL fan. I'm looking right at you. Come out to the next home game, and we're going to turn you on to this game because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's our game. C4 Canadian football, and it's completely different. Completely different.
There was a time that this league paid more money than that other one south of the 49th, but that's another show. But hey, like we said, oppose us, come alongside us, agree, disagree, or bring in a whole new opinion that no one's ever even thought of. Here's a platform, utilize it. BC Lions, CFL, bring it all. We need it. We love it. Can't say anymore.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Well said, bro. So, looking forward, next game, Saskatchewan. Thoughts?
Jake Dolagala, 6'7". I can't say anything else. I mean, if he plays like he played that last game, I have a prediction that we're gonna win. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see some sacks. I'd like to see some takeaways. Defensively, I'd like to see it keep rolling. Offensively, we got to protect VA better. I know, you know, like Arthur said, you're going to hang in there and go downfield. Yeah. You still got to protect him a little bit better than that. There's got to be better communication on that line.
Yeah.
3-man rush. I mean, it was some weird alignment, but 3-man rush? Last I checked, 5 was more than 3. You should still be able to keep him away from your quarterback.
Yeah. I bet you they're probably scheming that. If they ever see that again, hopefully they know what to do.
Yeah, because we're going into Regina, and I don't know if they're going to be in a good mood because, well, they're not playing. I mean, those guys are going to have to start playing for jobs soon, right? So that could be a desperate team, so we got to be going in there dialed in and ready to play. Yeah. That intensity has to be there.
They got Pipkin. You think we'll see him?
Ooh. You know what? I might, again, playbook wise, he might be limited because he doesn't know their vernacular, their lingo. But you know what? I say he's a little bit more of a threat than Dolagala.
Yeah.
Just because he's been around this game a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah. He knows our.
What do you think, Arthur?
He knows our defense guys too.
I mean, he knows our defense a bit. I mean, I think Jordan Missimick has changed the playbook since VA is now the starter. So Pitkin was there when Nate was the starter. So things have changed. I don't think there's not much of a read, and I think advanced scouting as well. They have a good idea what the Lions are doing now, anyways. I think the Lions defense will still be very strong. And I agree with you guys. The Lions have to protect Vernon Adams much better than they have in the previous games. And I still think the Lions will comfortably win this game. I mean, it sucks that we talked about why attendance is down, and I didn't really get into it. And what I think is it's the lack of quality quarterback play. I mean, there's been a lot of unfortunate injuries to starting quarterbacks. Without good quarterback play, this game, although it's a pass-oriented game, and you can say which game is better between the CFL and NFL. But the CFO really relies on the quarterback to make good plays.
Yeah.
And when you have quarterbacks struggling or new young quarterbacks that you're grooming, I like what Crum is doing in Ottawa. But
he went punch for punch with Toronto. Toronto's veteran leadership and their skill level kind of overtook it at the end, but he's learning his learning curve's going the right direction.
But how many? You have one Crum, but how many young quarterbacks that haven't been able to do it?
Yeah.
And the CFL game suffers. So, it's tough for Saskatchewan. They're on their number 3 quarterback. It's going to be a tough go. They're going to have to have their running game come to play. So BC has to shut down that run, which I think they can do. Yeah. And then make their number 3, number 4 quarterback beat you in the secondary. So you guys mentioned about it. We got to get our sack totals up. We got to pressure the quarterback. Now Saskatchewan's another team that's gonna dink and dunk.
Yeah, they will. And
especially with a young quarterback, they're not going to make him throw downfield.
Although
but we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing.
If it's Dolagala, I think he will. I think he will, and those are opportunities for us to pick it off.
And then the secondary can be tested. And now, if they're going to get tested, let's see how they respond on the road. Because then they kind of got roughed up in Winnipeg for reasons. There's some reasons why, but then there's some right from the beginning of the game, although it was short rest. I think they could have played those deep balls better. So now is an opportunity, I think, for the Leos secondary to show that, you know what, that was truly a one-off, and then they can play much better.
Yeah, because again, in Toronto, like we already talked about, that secondary on those turnovers were inside 20 yards to the end, and you cannot make a mistake inside that 20. One tiny little mistake, it's a touchdown, versus you got 2/3 of the field, you can kind of cover it, or, But yeah, and I think whether or not we get Saxon Dolagala, we got to rush him. He's a big guy, so the last little shot on him, probably not going to phase him because he's a big guy. But if we can rush him and get in his head, get in his head like we do Jake Mayer, we should be okay. And then if he starts forcing downfield, so if we can get in, and then the crowd's going to be a factor too. We're going into Regina. But again, maybe the crowd's not as supportive as they used to be because it's boring football there now. Because they got rid of Moss, and the offense has not been that much more impressive.
Still going to be loud.
Trevor Harris has played how many? 1.5 games?
Yeah.
Is it not even a full game? It's tough, right? You lose your starter. It's really difficult.
Yeah. So if
Fine had a couple of good games, but
take the crowd out of it, get a 17-0 lead in the first quarter, even the first half if we're up 17-0, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We gotta play Saskatchewan like it's Winnipeg in the Western Final. Yeah. That's how we have to play, in my opinion.
I want us to rack up the points and play a dominating game.
Are you asking for 50, Roland? Is he asking for 50?
We can.
Wait, you ask for 50 all the time, Greg. You ask for 50.
This game, I think we can. I think we can. But
I just want a nice win by two, 3 possessions.
Okay, now the last win that we had here with Mason against Mason Fine, a second-string quarterback, we won 19-9. Like you said, there was never any doubt, but that score,
no, it doesn't.
That's flattering to Saskatchewan. Yeah. Did we play down to that? We cannot afford that. We have to play them like Winnipeg, and it's the Western Final. Yeah. That's how we have to attack this game.
When Winnipeg beat us, there was no mercy.
No,
and that's the kind of fire that you need to become a championship team, right? I want to see that, at least one game, right?
So that game, VA is out. That's the game where Saskatchewan kept blitzing us and we couldn't protect the quarterback, and that's what knocked VA out.
Yeah.
So Dane Evans has come in cold.
Cold, yes, absolutely.
And he got 19 points, and he could have played better. He admitted he could have played better, but our backup and kind of like his first sizable live action. And it's just, you got to give credit where credit's due. Saskatchewan played a really good road game defensively.
And then he went into Edmonton and he did well. And then we went into Winnipeg and.
But don't forget what was Saskatchewan doing on offense is they were just chewing up the clock.
Yeah.
They were chewing up the clock, and I'm like, did they have enough clock? Because they were just chewing up. They're down. Yeah. They're down by over 2 scores, and they're chewing up the clock.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, Fine had great stats.
Well,
they great stats, but hey, if you're just going to do that, Lions will give that to you all day. So again,
they were preventing interceptions, right? Because he was coming in with interceptions, and they didn't want any interceptions.
Yeah, I think they were guarding him, and then let him loose, but then he got hurt.
Sorry.
They were kind of grooming him, bringing him along slowly, keep the interceptions down, don't make any stupid plays.
Yeah.
And then when they finally let him loose in that game against, was it Montreal? He got hurt.
Well, he did go downfield against the Lions when it was less than 3 minutes to go, and then he got intercepted twice.
Yeah.
So, but before that, they were just not. They weren't. They weren't allowing him to go downfield, or it was very he was playing risk. Low risk,
and I think that was a call made by the coach. They were protecting his confidence, I guess.
Yeah, of course. So, well, we got to take the confidence away, take away the will to win from Saskatchewan next game.
Yeah.
And the only way is to bring that X factor. We got to take it personal. We got to again bring the intensity like it's the Western Final against Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Do not play down to Saskatchewan because, again, Arthur talked about a trap game. If we play down to them, that will be a trap game. I mean, yes, we've got all the pieces in place and we're not coming off a short, all that kind of stuff. But if we don't go in there ready, Saskatchewan, I think, could upset us.
Yeah.
Because we had trouble, if I'm not mistaken, last year when Saskatchewan came in here, we had trouble against Dolagala.
Last year, I don't quite remember.
Yeah.
That game.
It was fine in Dolagala. We had trouble. Unless it was garbage. I just remember we had trouble containing because he was running all over the place.
I think that was one of the BC losses last year. I think it was a home and Rourke got injured in Saskatchewan, so they played, and I think that's where O'Connor got banged up.
Yep.
So they had Pipkin come in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
So they traded for Vernon Adams. Shortly after.
But again, that was against Fine and Dolagala, and it just didn't look good. But I mean, they've had their time to develop, and they said Dolagala has not looked good. I mean, there was a nasty article written about him, so maybe he comes back with a vengeance himself. Who knows? But we have to bring it.
I just want to respond to how BC lost that game when Saskatchewan came into BC place is because we were on our third string quarterback, and Pipkin just couldn't manufacture enough offense.
He couldn't. And I guess our defense didn't really know Fine and Dolagala that much at that time too. We've seen a lot more.
Yeah, I can't remember the score, so I don't know if it was a close game or what.
Oh, I don't remember. Again, it's not the win or loss that I'm kidding. It's just having trouble against these two young quarterbacks that are inexperienced. Like, we shouldn't have trouble against inexperienced quarterbacks.
Sometimes when you have a new quarterback coming in, you don't know how he's going to play. Like when Crum played the first game, no one knew that he was going to run, and he killed them with his legs, right? But now people know, right? So anyway, final predictions. Any predictions? You can predict a score. You can predict number of touchdowns. You can predict anything. Predictions.
24-11 Lions.
Oh, we got a score. Well, I think they're gonna win by 17 points. 2.5 scores.
Okay.
Over 2. So over 14 on the road. I think they'll do that
in Regina.
Yeah. That's right.
All right. Okay. I'm hoping you're right.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's what I think, and I think maybe I'm thinking Smoke's gonna have a big game.
Okay.
Well, for
nice.
Smoke to have a big game, that O-line's got to have a big game.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. I'm predicting.
Brother Roland.
I'm predicting 3 sacks again. I know my predictions haven't come to pass. But I guess I'm projecting here. I'm projecting to our D-line. Give me 3 sacks.
Greg, will you ever predict special teams touchdown? Punt return or kickoff return touchdown?
If they
I was just going to say,
returner.
I was just going to say, I'm saying call on Luck too fast, and we're going to get some 7s. Feature Lucky Whitehead, and let's see some production. Let's see some touchdowns. Hey, fans out there in Leo's Legion, chime in, please, with a prediction. You know what? We need it. There's tons of fans out there on the CFL forums. There's tons of the forums on Facebook. I'm coming back in that room. I'm going to call you all out. Give us some predictions. But hey, I am asking. I'm begging. I'm crying. Luck too fast needs to be in this game.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. If Lucky gets 10 targets, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, I'm hoping for that.
He gets 10 targets, 2 touchdowns.
10 targets is he's going to be the primary receiver.
Keon had that last game.
But it seemed like so they're going to have to VA's going to have to switch because he was keying on Hatcher the whole game this time.
Saskatchewan's going to have to key on Hatcher.
Okay.
No pun intended. Key on.
Oh, I didn't want to say that, but hey, I like it. That's nice, Arthur. Very nice.
I mean, come on, as your defensive coordinator, you will you have to take away Hatcher, right? Next game, right?
And Hall, you got to take away Hatcher and Hall. Well, yeah, because Rhymes is on the 6th game, from what I remember.
Yeah, and they're going to let him rest up, right, and get him ready for the playoffs. So I think Lucky can have a big game.
Right.
If Saskatchewan's going to key on the other receivers, then I think lucky. And you get 10 touches or 10 targets.
10 targets.
2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay, I like
Luck
that.
too fast.
I like that.
We're rooting for you, buddy. We're rooting for you.
10 targets, 2 touchdowns. Maybe pass the ball to Cottoy a few times too.
Oh yeah, soften them up with twice and run out. Oh yeah, yes.
All right, so I think that's it for this episode.
Well, hang on. Let's think about this now. Lucky, 7's equal to 7. What's Cottoy's number? 8 and 6, right? Add those together. That's 14. Those are touchdown numbers. See? 7, 14, 21s. Arthur's predicting a 17-point minimum spread. So yeah, Lucky and Javon, let's go. Let's get some touchdowns. Feature those guys, V8. Look those guys up.
All right. Awesome. Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks to you, the viewer. Let us know what you think. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you guys watching this. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. And tell your friends about this and let us know what you think. All right. Take care, guys. See you next week.
Go Lions.
Good night, guys. Go Lions.
Go Lions.